Imagine this, you wake up at 9 o'clock sharp and your entire family quickly gathers around the television with crazy excitement like it's Christmas morning. And there's this weird mixture of untamable joy and untamable fear all in the room at the same time, as the words from the TV are uttered. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then all the excitement turns into a nervous silence until the final word is uttered. Liftoff. Now, to many of us, this just seems like a distant dream, but to so many folks, on July 16, 1969, it was reality. And now, 50 years later, humanity is going back to the moon. But for what reason? And more importantly, what effect will this have on us back here on Earth? Now, I grew up fascinated with humanity's exploration of space. My 10th birthday, I asked for a telescope. And every single clear night I possibly could, I would be looking through that telescope, trying to figure it out, trying to get a glimpse of the moon. But all childhood fascination aside, what can we realistically expect from these future trips to the moon? Why did we stop going in the first place, and what will these future excursions to the moon mean for us here on our home planet? I'll be discussing all of the facts surrounding these questions in order to help provide a better understanding of what our relationship with the moon could hold in store for us. So according to an article by NASA, the purpose of the near future moon visitations is to begin the process of learning how to inhabit and thrive on another planet. And the eventual target is of course Mars, but we'll touch a little bit more on that later. But the initial voyages will consist of dropping payloads on the surface of the moon that will be later used to provide infrastructure for valuable experiments and developments that are going to happen on the surface of the moon. And not only that, but NASA has also expressed an interest in commercialization of low Earth orbit space travel. So your kids and grandkids could see Earth from a perspective we may never see. Now all of that sounds pretty cool, which raises the question, why haven't we gone back? And put simply, the biggest answer is money. A 2005 report by NASA calculated going back to the moon was a $104 billion endeavor. Manned exploration in particular seems very, very costly, and you may have seen the recent photos and footages from rovers and satellites making their way throughout our solar system. This is because they are a lot more cost effective and practical than manned missions. But another contributing factor to man's absence from the moon could very well be the politics surrounding it. NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine was recently quoted as saying, "If it weren't for the political risk, we would be on the moon right now. Actually, we would probably be on Mars," end quote. Now this is the opinion of one man, obviously, but it does put into perspective just how much dollars and politics affect exploration and research. The final main factor is cancellation and redirection. And NASA in particular has been pulled every which way by every single new executive administration. And these redirections have led to, according to a post by the Business Insider, over $20 billion in losses. And while there have been many setbacks such as these along the way, we are now hard set on going back. But what does going back mean for the majority of us who will never leave the surface of the moon? The most practical and near future effect is the inevitable immersion of commercialized space travel and its effect on our economy. This is something that large corporations will desperately try to latch onto, which could lead to a great economic boost, but again, launching rockets into space is a very expensive endeavor. So the specifics about how it will affect our economy are pretty up in the air at this point. The next thing you may see is a change in science textbooks. This is because greater research done on the moon's surface will most likely lead to greater understanding of the moon's nature and origin. The final effect moon landings could have on us Earthlings is our inevitable big move. A thesis done by Mark Buchanan suggested that it is only a matter of time before the certain doom of this planet. And the only way to avoid that certainty is by spreading to other planets. The hopes behind these moon landings is that they will provide us with the perfect testing ground needed to learn how to spread and eventually become an interplanetary species. So now you know. You know what to expect from this new era of exploration. You know what prevented this advancement from happening in the first place, and you know how its resuming will affect you as an Earth liver. I hope that you will retain this information and keep it in mind, but if not, no worries, because you are going to witness all of it happen firsthand. Humanity has come a long way since that exciting first launch in 1969, but the echoes of that excitement rang louder than before, saying, "You, my friend, are witnessing history."